So I'm going to be sewing together the women's Drawcord sweatshirt. I have my front and back here. First thing you'll do is match the shoulder edges with right sides of the fabric together. And these will just get serged closed. Okay, after those are closed, I'm going to sew the sleeves onto that armhole. You should have clipped a notch here at the cap. That will match up with that shoulder seam. So pin that together before you start. So after that's pinned, bring that sleeve cap to the edge of the armhole to start. And then take the other sleeve to do the exact same thing. Alright, now that the sleeves are on, I'm going to fold the whole sweatshirt in half. This is the neck hole. To line up the side seams to close those. Alright, and the same for the other side. Okay, now that the side seams are closed, I'm going to attach the neck. So to start with the neck, you'll just fold it in half, parallel to the grain line, and serge this end closed. And after that's serged, you'll clip a notch opposite that seam to indicate the center front. Next, you'll fold it in half again with the wrong sides together this time. So you have that neckband. Okay, if you want to set eyelets for your Drawcord, this is going to be the time to do it at the center front. So I'm going to do that and come back. Okay, now I have my neckband here with the eyelets. I just set them right at the center front. So if you did set eyelets, you're gonna, when you put the neckband into the neck, those eyelets will be against the center front. So I'm putting the neckband inside the neck hole right now. And I'm going to pin that center back seam to the center back notch on the neck. And then I'm going to pin the center front notch on the neckband to the center front neck. So now you should have 3 raw edges lined up all the way around. You shouldn't need to stretch the neckband, and you'll just serge it to the neck all the way around. Alright, so the neck will be fully attached now. So before I turn it right side out, I'm going to put on the sleeve cuffs. Okay, so for the sleeve cuffs, you'll do pretty much the same thing. Just fold them in half, parallel to the grain line. Right sides together if you have a right side. I don't here because it's a rib knit. And then serge them closed. And then fold in half again with the seam folded against itself to form the cuff. And then that will just get placed right inside the sleeve. Try to match up that seam with this seam here, or else try to make sure it's in the back of the sweatshirt. And this one you'll need to stretch a little bit to fit the sleeve. So it shouldn't be too much, just stretch it a little bit and then serge it on all the way around. All right, now you can turn it right side out. And this is what your sleeve should look like. Your neckband. So the next step is going to be to hem the bottom and then do a straight stitch for the draw cord around the neck. So the first thing to hem the bottom is going to be to serge all the way around it. And then this hem will be folded up. It's going to kind of depend on the thickness of your drawstring too. If you have a really thick one, obviously you'll need to fold it up a little further, but I'll just fold mine up about 1 inch. And I'm going to set eyelets here too, so that needs to be done before you hem it. So to finish hemming the sweatshirt, I've folded it up about 1 inch and just pinned it all the way around in maybe 8 spots. And I set my eyelets here. They're on the inside of the sweater, and it's on the left side. So I'm going to use a cover stitch, but you can definitely just use a straight stitch if you don't have one. Okay, now that's fully hemmed. For the neckband, I will use a straight stitch. And I'll do about the same width, about an inch below the fold line. So you'll just start at the center back, at the top, at the fold line, and just go all the way around. All you're doing is creating a little drawstring casing. Okay, so before you cut the drawcord, you're going to do the pocket. Now here's your pocket. You'll just start by folding both of these edges in and top stitching. You can use a straight stitch or cover stitch. Okay, now that those are hemmed, you will need to iron the raw edges in about a half of an inch. Just like that. I'll go do that. Okay, now that the pocket edges are ironed in, this one's actually more like 3/4 of an inch with a thicker fabric. You'll lay your sweatshirt flat so the front is exposed. And place your pocket at the center front, about probably 2 inches above the hem. And just pin it in place all the way around the edges that you're going to need to be sewn. Obviously leaving these slanted sides open. Now that it's pinned in place, you can either straight stitch it pretty close to the edge, or you can cover stitch it as well. Okay, there you can see it is fully attached. With the side openings, and make sure if you didn't lock stitch it with a straight stitch, make sure you double check that all these edges here are really secure, because that's going to get most of the tension. Alright, now the last step is going to be to do the measure out and insert the draw cords. You can either follow the chart that's in the pattern, or you can just eyeball it. It doesn't need to be much longer than the actual width, because chances are you're going to cinch it a little bit anyway, and then you'll have extra cord to work with. Alright, that's for the waistband. I just use a safety pin and attach it to the end. Well, I'll actually tie a knot around it to thread that through. that casing. You can finish the ends however you want by adding an egglet or just tying it in a knot. Alright, so after it's threaded through, I like to do a straight stitch right at the back to just hold that drawstring in place so it can't get pulled out. Okay, so the same thing for the waistband drawcord. You can finish it however you like on the ends, and then do a straight stitch at the opposite side seam just to hold it in place so it can't get pulled out. And then all you have to do is iron it, and it's done.